Emmitt was born the 25th of July, 1941. And it was a very difficult birth. He was a breech baby, and they had to get him turned around and so forth and so on, which caused a whole lot of misery and pain. He was the happiest baby in the world. It looked like he said, free at last, I'm here, I'm free. And nothing fazed him. By that I mean you didn't have to hold him and rock him and pet him. If you gave him that bottle, made sure he was dry, you could put him in his bed and he would lie there and kick and coo and for hours. As he grew up, it was more like we were sisters and brothers almost, because my mother raised him while I went to work. So it was like he was hers and I knew I was hers, and we had fun together. We laughed together. We never did much fighting until he and I moved alone, and it would become necessary to discipline him.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I don't own the rights to that video. It's a YouTube video, but yes, that is the voice of Emmitt Till's mother. Okay. So my name is Queen Kim. I am coming to you on behalf of Women Abiding in the Word of Yah #movement. You know, please like our YouTube channel. Also like our Facebook page, which is Women Abiding in the Word of Yah #movement. Welcome to History Education. Okay. And our topic for today and for the next few weeks will be Emmitt Till. We're going to talk about who Emmitt Till was. Okay. Well, before we do that, I always tell you what our scripture is. You know, history is so important. Scripture is so important. It's important to know your history because it's in the scriptures, you know, and it's also, you know, important to educate each other, you know, as we move into, you know, these last days that we are in, right? I've noticed and seen, you know, throughout the years of my studies and advocating that they're not going to teach our children their history in school. It's up to us to teach them, you know, the things that happened to us in the past that they don't learn in the school districts, right? It's up to us as adults to teach our children, you know, about slavery, about white privilege, about Emmitt Till, about, you know, things that happen in the past that they don't teach our youth. And I'm talking about all races. They all have the right to know. All right. So this is an outlet, which is history education, to teach and to educate each other. All right. And our focus scripture, as you can see at the bottom, it is Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 6. And the word says, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Right? You got to be hungry. You got to be thirsty for it, for righteousness. Okay. So once again, welcome to our history education. We do history education every Thursday, or streaming from our YouTube channel and also our Facebook channel. Our topic, this one is going to be pretty in depth. So we're going to be talking about Emmitt Louis Till. A lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people don't know what happened to him. A lot of people don't know that justice was not served, right? So we're just going to talk about him and bring him out in history education. So for today, I'm just going to give you some pinpoints on Emmitt Louis Till. And then next week, we'll start to dig into more in-depth topics on Emmitt Louis Till. Okay. All right. So first thing is his parents. Yes, that was his mom that you heard in the video. She transitioned which we'll talk about, coming in the next videos. But his parents were Mammy Carthen Till Mobley, and his father was Lois Till. Okay. Probably still trying to figure out, like, who's Emmitt Till? Who is he? Emmitt Till was 14 years old when he died. Yes, he was a Black child. He was 14 years old when he died. Okay. The year of his death, and this is very important, the year of his death was 1955. Okay. 1955, and that was 71 years ago. Okay. I'm going to tell you where he was from. And also I'm going to tell you what happened to Emmitt Till. And then we're going to end it for today, because next week we're going to dig into, step by step of the things that we know about Emmitt Till. Okay. Emmitt Till was from Chicago, Illinois. He was born and raised in Chicago, and he died in Mississippi visiting a family member. Okay. So maybe you want to know, what happened to Emmitt Till? Who is Emmitt Till? Okay. I'm going to read you just this one paragraph according to the Wikipedia, and also the facts that we know. Okay. All right. Emmitt Till was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. During summer vacation in August of 1955, he was visiting relatives near Money, Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta region. He spoke to a 21-year-old Carolyn Bryant, the white married woman of a grocery store there. So I want to stop there for a second, okay? So it says he spoke to a 21-year-old Carolyn Bryant, and yes, her husband owned a grocery store, okay? Carolyn Bryant is still alive. She's the only person who's living out of this tragedy, everything that happened. So I want you to keep that in mind. So he spoke to her, a 21-year-old Carolyn Bryant, right? Although a lot of us don't know what happened, and put my pinpoints in here, what he said to her in the store, but he spoke to her. Okay. So remember that. Although what happened at the store is a matter of dispute, Till was accused of flirting or whistling at Bryant, right? So we got a 14-year-old Emmitt Till going into this grocery store, and, he may have said something to Carol Bryant, or he was accused of saying something to her, right? So this is the reason of his death, right? So he was accused of flirting with or whistling at Bryant. Till's interaction with Bryant, perhaps unwittingly, violated the unwritten code of behavior for a Black male interacting with a white female in the Jim Crow South. So we're going to bring out Jim Crow as well, right? So when we think about Jim Crow, it's the southern United States, it's geographic cultural region of the United States of America. Okay. It's between the Atlantic Ocean and the Western United States, with the Midwestern United and Northeastern United States to its north, and the Gulf of Mexico to its south, right? So when we talk about Jim Crow laws were state and local laws that enforced racial segregation in the southern United States. Other areas of the United States were also affected by formal and informal policies of segregation. But many states outside of the South had adopted laws, okay? So that gives you a little piece of the Jim Crow, which we'll bring out too. All right, so what happened was, Emmitt Till went into the store, Carol Bryant was in the store, and he was accused of flirting with her. He might have said something to her, whistled to her. And his cousins were with him around this time, which we'll bring out too. So several nights after the incident in the store, Bryant's husband, Roy, and his half-brother, J.W. Milliam, who were armed with weapons, with guns, went to Till's great uncle's house and abducted Emmitt. So I'm going to stop right there. In 1955, these two men who Carol Bryan told, which was one was her husband, and the other one, it said, I think it was her brother-in-law, her half-brother, basically knocked on Emmitt Till's grandfather's door and abducted him, took him out the home. They had weapons. Think about it. They took him away and they beat and mutilated him before shooting him in the head and sinking his body in a Tallahatchie River. 3 days later, Emmitt Till's body was completely discovered and retrieved from the river. Okay. So those are some pinpoints on Emmitt Till that we're going to be bringing out. He was lynched. He had bullet wounds. And it's so in depth. You can Google it for yourself. But these are the things that happened to Emmitt Till. Okay. So this will be our topic for our history education for these next few weeks, maybe even a month coming forth. But I wanted to share this information with you because a lot of us don't know who Emmitt Till is. And remember, these things happened in 1955. 1955. They were able to just, like I said, came for the boy. Brutally tortured this little 14-year-old boy because he whistled at a white woman. All right. So we will be back next week. I want you to think about it. Hey, do your research. You will find these things. You will see the videos. You will see his mom. You will see the trial. You will see the jury. These are things we're going to be digging into. It's not an easy topic to talk about, but it's necessary for us to know as a people and as a whole. So please, share this video. Maybe too deep for your children right now, the younger ones, but if you feel like they're ready, share it with them because they need to know what happened in the past, right? We need to know. We need to educate. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction of Emmitt Louise Till, beautiful, beautiful young male from Chicago, 14 years old, just going to go, visit his family members, and didn't get a chance to make it back home nor see his mom. So we'll be digging more into that. I'm going to leave you at that. I'm going to show you a picture of Emmitt Till after this video, but I look forward to seeing you next week. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. Bye.